Picking the right food for a sick or picky pet means piecing together answers from vet guidance, ingredient labels, marketing claims, FDA recall data, and if you're like me, even looking at Reddit reviews online. Usually right when your pet is already unwell and you have the least time to do that research properly. I built BiteWise to do that research for you using a team of specialized AI agents instead of one generic chatbot answer. A single LLM call can sound plausible, but it has no real-life access to current recall data, no way to actually check an ingredient panel, and no visibility into what real pet owners are saying right now. So, BiteWise splits the problem into 5 specialist roles, coordinated by an orchestrator, the same way a careful human researcher would delegate tasks to different experts instead of guessing at everything themselves. As you can see, we have our orchestrator agent. It will decompose the user's request and delegate to 5 specialists over the A2A protocol. That will be the scout, vet, review, nutritionist, and safety agent. This was all built and orchestrated using the Google Antigravity SDK inside of the Antigravity IDE. Here on the right is just an example chat that I had with Gemini. After the orchestrator finishes, this delegation counter checks how many times each specialist was actually invoked and prints a warning if any were skipped. This doesn't rely on trusting the model's own report of what it did. Each agent's behavior lives in its own skill file rather than one giant prompt. This one in particular includes an explicit instruction to always recommend a vet consultation. And each agent call has retry with backoff for rate limits with a graceful fallback instead of crashing the whole pipeline. So here is BiteWise, our pet food advisor, running locally. Here on the left is a brief description on how it works. There is an option here where you can click and run a dry run mode. It'll be an offline simulation, so no API calls. But we're going to go ahead and try to run a live API call here. So I'll go ahead and give an example of a real pet. Let's say a cat with vomiting issues. Very quickly, to go over what's going on in the background, the orchestrator agent is calling each agent as a tool to go ahead and receive information from each agent individually. It'll then go ahead and synthesize and return a final report response to the user, and then we'll go ahead and come back once it's finished running so that we can look at the final recommendation report. So here is our final recommendation report generated by BiteWise, our pet food advisor. It is grounded on actual vet guidelines, ingredient analysis, any recall status, and generates recommendation based on forum reviews as well. It even gives us next steps and provides a security measure to go ahead and prompt the user to still go ahead and get a veterinary consultation, especially if they do have any medical diagnosis. Here down below you can pull our agent activity log and actually see the tool calls and the A2A communications from the orchestrator to each agent. I did this transparency as a deliberate way to verify each agent was being called, mainly due to the fact that while working on this project, I caught that my orchestrator was not actually calling each agent. It would actually just still produce plausible recommendations based on its own knowledge, not calling each agent. So I added this as a way to verify that each agent was actually called rather than just the orchestrator claiming that it did call each agent.